Did you see the Instacart one?
Yes. I seen that like 2 days ago and I was like, what is this?
Game changer. I'm like, just come up with a menu for me and then get me all the ingredients on Instacart. A lot of tears. No,
there were some tears there.
There were. Yes. Very true. And yes, I did sit with it because every time I would try, like, I became somebody just from life experiences and then aging and parent, like all the things, like I was like, I would try something and if I liked it, I would go deeper. If not, I would get rid of it real quick.
All right. Nice. Okay, well, let's pour some libations first.
Yeah, I'm like, do you pour it as part of the thing? I wasn't sure if it was like an intro pour. No.
I mean, we're recording now.
That is very true.
Exactly. So
no matter where it starts.
Some BTS. Pass me your glass.
Thank you. Short arms. Same time, like trying not to touch the mic. Like, don't touch it.
So the reason I want to do this particular segment, especially with you, Heather, is number one, I've known you since the beginning. You want a little more? I mean, it's non-alcoholic.
It is non-alcoholic.
Give you a
we're going crazy here.
Yes. But we started in the same coaching program together, right? So I feel like we can talk our shit. You know, Wins, Wines, a little bit of strategy is the name of the segment.
Mm-hmm.
And you are the queen of strategy when it comes to working with ease, which is why we have the wine.
Yes.
Right? Because we're trying to do this with as much ease as possible. We don't have to do it with stress. We don't have to do it with frustration. Right. So I'm really excited about the conversation.
I was excited when you brought that up. I was like, interesting take on it. And I'm totally here for it.
Yes,
yeah, totally here for it.
So I've been starting off most conversations with what's one win that you're celebrating?
One win that I'm celebrating. Well, I even posted about it today is I just got my Kajabi, like the 250K pin.
Yay!
And I was just... It's not that I never thought it was going to happen, but when you first start and there's so much going on, and the first, like, I think year was like just barely any movement and traction to be like, oh shit, like I just got 250. Like I was like, I sold over that and it's beyond, it's over that. But I was like, I hit that milestone and just having that in my vision, I was like, I want it. I just want it. I just wanted it. I was like, I wanted it so bad. And then getting it and being like, oh man. It almost feels like it's a legit business.
Yes.
Like, yes.
It is.
It is.
Cheers. Yes.
So that's a huge win. And then also I've been playing a lot of pickleball, I don't usually sport. So it's been a long time since like I've had a hobby other than like taking myself out and like going to the movies and stuff, like, which really isn't a hobby, it's just my time.
Yeah.
But I've been playing pickleball and I play like 4 days a week now.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun. Have you tried it yet?
No, I have not. You've been bragging about it, so I've definitely got to try it. So for folks who are watching, this is Wins, Wines, and a little bit of strategy with Heather. We are drinking a non-alcoholic Stella Rosa Red. So for the folks who want to get that good old vibe but don't want to get tipsy, this is for you. You should try it out, and it's actually really good. This is my first time trying it.
Right?
It could be really good with like a sangria, maybe like some fresh fruit, pineapple,
peaches. I'd like to do it like a cheese board too at home.
Yes.
I'll hit up Trader Joe's and get some cheese like when the kids aren't there. And it's like my like Saturday night at home. Because we have a 3-story townhouse. So from the second, like the main floor to the kids' rooms, we have these stairs that go up and then this banister for the So I have these icicle lights that we put up for our first Christmas when we moved in.
And haven't taken them down.
Yeah. Well, our Christmas and I haven't taken because I love just like the low light at night. And on the weekends, I'll put on something, open up the windows, turn the lights, non-alcoholic red and some cheese and stuff. So good.
Yes.
So
fancy.
Relaxing. Yes.
Fancy and doing it with ease, right?
Yes.
Which is so important. So for the audience, how do you help business owners? Like what's your primary thing that you're doing right now?
Leverage. Just really helping them leverage their time by utilizing just simple systems and automations. Really uncomplicating the business because as like they grow and scale and they're in it, they add on a lot of different things. And then I kind of am like, hey, do we need this? And if we do need this, how can we not make it so many steps to accomplish the goal. So it's really just helping them evaluate that just so they can scale. The coaches that come to me are like, they already have it down. They know what they're doing. They're serving their community, their clients, and they're just exhausted.
Yeah.
And they're like, I know I want stuff. I just don't know what I need. And I'm just like, all right, cool. Well, let's take a look.
So in other words, you're helping coaches stay coaching.
Yes.
Right? Because I mean, when you think about it, we can go into this a little bit more later because I do want to talk about it with you. Our old coach, sold his program because he burnt out.
Yep.
So technically, if he would have had a Heather, he might still be coaching.
Right.
Wow. So Heather, when we first met, we were in a coaching program together. And the reason I'm going here is because I know there's so many people who are like you who don't want to have like the normalized model of coaching. And I remember being in a program with you and everybody was starting their programs and they were like 3 months and 6 months. And you were like, that just doesn't feel like the thing I'm supposed to do. And you sat with your offer for a very long time. And in a way that I think you were even uncomfortable at some point. Like, am I even going to be a coach? Like, what am I going to do with this? So as you think about putting together your offer, what is some advice you would give to the newbies? Like, how did you come up with this particular offer? Because your offer is not the standard, I'm going to coach you and talk to you all day. It's really about systems and strategy and automation and some of the geeky stuff that all of us don't want to learn, and you're willing to learn it. So how did you come up with your offer suite?
Oh, a lot of tears. No,
there were some tears there.
There were.
A couple
yes,
of times.
Very true. And yes, I did sit with it because every time I would try, like, I became somebody just from life experiences and then aging and parent, like all the things. Like I was like, I would try something, and if I liked it, I would go deeper. If not, I would get rid of it real quick. But I also really learned to spend my time paying attention to the room. And I like to watch what's going on. So I pay attention to how other people are growing their programs, what are they doing? And then I would look at it and be like, is that something that inspires or does that feel good for me? And for a while, it's like I just couldn't get it. I was like, I see everybody that's grabbing a thing, like they know what they want, or they're just willing to be like, I want to try it and I'm going to go all in and just hope it works. And for me, it was like, all right, I have no clue what I'm going to do. Literally, I even used to tell my coaches, I was like, I can show up to a coaching call and I can hear somebody ask a question. I can answer that question. Like in my head, I'm like, I know this response. Like I could answer that, but I didn't know how I wanted to sell my thing or what that was going to be. And it wasn't until I broke down, like literally in tears on a coaching call with one of my coaches. And then they were like, dude, like, seriously, Heather? Like they're like, why have you been asking for help? I'm like, because I didn't know. Like I was like, I still didn't know. And we honed it in and I was like, okay, so what do I enjoy doing? What was it that was fun for me? What would I do no matter what? And no matter what was going on, I was always building stuff. And even back in the day, like when I was on ClickFunnels and, doing that, like I would literally build a funnel just to delete it because I'd be like, I don't know what I'm selling. I don't have words to put on the page, but I will build a whole funnel, connect all the automations, get it going. I'm like, all right, cool, it's done, delete. And then just do it again. And I would learn all the automations and then, just kept digging deeper into that. And it just felt really good. And then once I got that, it was then getting very clear on like, who do I want to work with? Like who am I enjoying my time? Who really needs my support? And then also, how do I live the life that I want to live while I'm growing that business? And the biggest turning point for me was really speaking up for that. Like all coaches have coaches. So like when I go to my coach and I'm like, they're talking and I'm like, well, this is what I envision I want. Help me break into this thing. I want to build it this way. And how do we do that? So got really clear on my asks as well to help me make that happen. Yeah. And then even now, it continues to change. And then I just keep like leaning into it and going. And I'm just like, all right, we're going to do it. No, we're not going to do it that way. Let's do it this way. And some pieces I'll take and sometimes I'll just literally within like 2 weeks, I'm like, no, throw that whole thing away. Like we're not doing that. It doesn't feel good. next thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it took breaking down, and it sounds like it took some intuition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like really being able to go with your gut, because there's this thing that happens, especially with online coaching. And I don't know if you've seen it. Trends will happen, and then everybody wants to do the same thing. And I'm almost like, sometimes let's go against what everyone else is doing, but also let's go with what we really feel, right? Because I remember when I first started my program and you were there, it was too short.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like 8 weeks. And at that time, that's what people were doing, 8 weeks to 90 days. And I expanded to 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And some people look at me like I'm crazy still to this day, like you want to work with people for that long. But what we learned that was powerful from Michael Chu was the power of retention.
Mm-hmm.
And the longer you work with people, the most likely they'll buy from you again, but also the more collaboration and work you can get done. Short amount of time, you might make a quick amount of money, but is that really going to be sustainable for you? So for you, I know you're a mom, and this is, to me, like when I was looking at like the work that you've done, I was like, Heather really has built a mom-friendly business. Like, was that something that you were thinking about as you were putting your offer together? Were you like, I got to spend time with my kids, I'm not going to step away from that? Or did this kind of just happen organically as you built it?
Oh, that was intentional. 100% intentional, especially because right when I started just prior to COVID, just prior, like maybe 6 months before COVID happened. I quit my job. I was like, I'm gonna figure it out. So no job, drained my 401k, COVID hits, and now I'm at home with like my kids. Like, and these, like, they were both, like, I think my daughter was in elementary and my son was in middle school. And it's like me and them. That's it. And I'm like, and it was just being in that space and being like around them. Like I already knew when I quit, I was like, I just miss being able to be like, oh, I just want to focus on dinner, or I want to like go to their school and they have different things going on. I want to go do what, right? Like, but that really made me see that I wanted something that if I needed to step away for 2 days, 3 days, or whatever that was, if my kids are sick, if I just want to leave. Like right now, me and my daughter, we're already like, we send each other TikTok. She's like, oh, she sent me one, I think it was for Iceland the other day. And we're just sending like travel stuff. I'm like, where around the world are we going to go? But I just want as much time with these little people as possible because of so much time passed. Like I feel like even though I was in it, I still feel like I missed a lot of it when I was working because I was working so much. I was in college, like, and I was so focused on other things that I was like, now I want you to have like that focused attention. And anything that kind of is like, oh, it has to be like this, like when this thing comes in, it has to be turned around this fast. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. Like even like when I hire, I'm like, nothing for me is ever an emergency. Like if I'm tasking you something, it's never an emergency. It's never going to be last minute. And please don't tell me you're ever working on the weekend unless you're like, I just want to take off Tuesday and Wednesday and work on the weekend or whatever. I'm like, that's just the way that I want. Everyone should live their life. Just like go have a good time.
Easeful abundance.
Go have a good time. Yes.
Easeful abundance. That's what we're calling it. Like my wife and I talk about that all the time. You have to almost systemize your life to have that because capitalism doesn't believe in it, right? So even when you're trying to talk to your clients about it, it's sometimes difficult because we've been taught you have to work hard to make a nice amount of money. So when you tell them something that's simple, they're like, what? I just do 1 and 2 and then money will come? Yes, that's it. That's all you have to do. People complicate it and make it a little bit difficult. And what you do, and I know because I work with you, we've been able to work intimately with clients before, is you simplify things, right, for the process of the most important parts of people's businesses, which I find to be onboarding, but also outboarding in the way that we do it, right? Because onboarding, number one, can really start a relationship in shambles. And if you don't outboard the right way, you might never even be able to get that relationship again. So we're here in Austin for the Kajabi conference, which is hella dope. Kajabi Live. Shouts out to Kajabi. Give us a little bit more kudos, right? Because we're here, we're blogging about it. But for you utilize that tool with automation. What are some strategies that you can share around onboarding and outboarding? and how you've been able to help these amazing coaches, including myself, implement that in their business.
Yeah, 100%. The weird thing is there's so many times, and I know we've all been there, and like we can all sit down and think of a time, like first of all, where you brought into a company and you're like, what do I do? Either work-wise or you hired a coach and you're like, wait a minute, you brought me on and then I didn't hear from you other than like the first call. Right? And you're like, I don't know what to do.
You get that job and they give you a napkin with a password for your laptop and they're like
bye.
Congrats.
Yeah, see you later. It's fine. And there's like no check-in points. There's no like milestones. There's nothing. And then the same thing when you leave. And I think you and I even discussed this before. I was like, did you get offboard? I was like, did you get offboarded from the program? I'm like, did anybody like send you like a thing? Right? Like, what does that look like? And for me, like the first thing, it's the customer experience. I have a weird relationship with customer experience. I love it. I love thinking of like the journey, the touch points, how it makes them feel. And I don't even know if it like started when I worked at Enterprise Rent-A-Car back in the day, and they're really known for like the customer experience.
They are. My mom was big on them. Yep. Like when we would rent cars, because we would drive from LA to Vegas for every year for vacation. I'm like, can we go somewhere else? Yeah. But it was cheaper. We would always go to Enterprise, and it was particularly because she had like almost like an agent that helped her every time. The same person got the same car, same value, same amount. So y'all did have it. Y'all was getting it down.
Oh yeah, they were so good, and they even empowered the people that worked there to make decisions. So it's like if you had a bad experience, I didn't have to go talk to my manager. I could be empowered to be like, oh, like how do I make this better for you? What can I do? Take off the right? Like what does that look like? And actually like envision the conversation. And a lot of it too made me see that there's a lot of things that we can preemptively support, so that way there is no issue on the back end. So it's just really taking a look at where do people get stuck? How do I help them out, right? And it could be as simple as sitting down and writing, even if it's just like 8 emails. The initial email they get, you can do, I usually recommend another one about 2 to 3 days in, because first of all, they just signed up, like give them some attention, make sure they're good. And then after that, you can do like a weekend, and then you can do like halfway point, right? Like where are they getting stuck? And just give them stuff, whatever it is. Like, hey, by now you should be here in the program. Because I've been in programs, and you might have been in programs, you sign up, it's 90 days. Next thing you know, the first 30 days is like done. You're like, what the fuck just happened? You're like, wait a minute. Where did those first 30 days go? And
exactly.
Like, what did I do? And then all of a sudden you're stressing because you're trying to come up and make up because you invested this money, and you're like, okay, I invested this. Okay, 30 days is gone. Now I only have like another 60 days. And and it's just making sure that there's a steady pace, and it makes them see that you were thinking about them in advance, right? Like it's the thought that counts. It doesn't have to be anything big. It can even be like an email, like be like, hey, just checking in to see how you're doing. Like hit reply and let me know how I can support you. Boom. And that's an automated email. Set up an email sequence, but it doesn't have the fancy pictures. It looks like you sat down behind your desk and sent an email. And then the same thing with offboarding. Like you literally can create, and I love a good form. You know this.
Yeah.
You literally can create a form. And for those of you who don't know, like just almost as if you're opting in, like an opt-in form, but it's internal for you, right, to use. And when you put in, let's say you have a retention call and they don't, re-sign with you, that's fine. At the end, you click on a link internally, you put in their name and email, and it sends them a series of emails. It could say, hey, once again, loved working with you, and let them know this is what you're still going to have access to. And then what I love to do, and what I like to have my clients do, is create a specific checkpoint. So it's either like, let's say it's 1 week later or even 3 weeks later, and be like, hey, like I was just thinking about you, and I wanted to see how everything has been going since we parted ways, or since you left the program. And then what happens is either they're doing fantastic, amazing, or they're like, I've been okay, the energy's gone, I miss the community or whatever. And you're like, oh, like, tell me more. And you re-engage and you bring them back in. But if you're not thinking about them, they're not thinking about you.
That's a good point. I got to add that extra email. I don't have that in my onboard.
You need to do that. It's so good because you can even do it even like later on, right? And it's just having that, or even when and I just helped a client with this one too, you have a previous a previous clients tag. So every now and then, your email communication, if you're sending an email out, you send out 2 different styles, one to your main list, and then you remove your previous clients, and then you recreate that same email, but for your previous clients with a little bit of, verbiage change, just to kind of speak more to be like, hey, I was doing this and that because you were previous in the program. I thought that this would be beneficial for you because you've already been there and you've done this and da-da-da-da-da, right?
Yes.
Same thing, different kind of. And you can be like, if you need any help or you have any questions, let me know.
Yes. Just the simple ways, right? And customer experience is something you're not taught as a coach. Like you get in, you're taught to sell.
Yeah.
You're taught to market. You're taught a little bit about branding, but not about customer experience. So I feel like you're filling a void that most companies are going to need to actually become legit companies, right? Like, and really be able to do that. So for you, and, I talked to another guest about this that you actually just seen. We were a part of this program. Yeah. It got sold.
Yeah.
How did you feel when this happened? Like, because I was kind of mad. I'm going to be honest with you. I was pretty pissed when it happened, right? Like, and let me tell you, the reason I was upset, Heather, and I want you to speak as well, was mainly because I felt like our group was in so much momentum during that time. Like our group in particular, the group of us who had joined at that time, we were really like, I feel like your offer was just coming around. Yeah. Like everything was like moving. And even though I know Andrew's intention was never to harm us. Like I really love Andrew. I still appreciate him. It felt like it stopped the momentum. Right. And we had to like get back going. And that was probably like at least a 2 to 3 month process before we were back into the momentum with Mike. So one, how did that experience feel? And two, now that you're investing in other coaches, what do you look for in a coach?
It was weird because I was like, when that happened, I was just like sitting there. And I don't even know how many of us were like in the chat in the Zoom room, like, oh my God, like, what are we doing?
What's happening?
Right. For me, the experience was because even though I purchased into that program, I really didn't know him that well. I knew more of the other coaches that were in the supporting roles, right?
Like Brad.
Yeah,
Sam.
like Brad and Avery. And so I was just like, as long as they weren't going nowhere, because that, for me, that was my big connection point. And it kind of made me see too that I was like, man, if you grow your company, right, you can sell it, or you're not the main thing, right? Like people have those connections with those coaches. I think the transition, the way, and I don't know whose idea it was, but that call was a good idea. I think adding in the additional time due to the change, because there was, I think, an additional month or something added on automatically because they knew of the transition. But at first, I think it was just, you need to get to know people. Like when you get a new coach or when something happens, like it's just that getting to know you phase. And luckily for me, when they did that first live event in Miami, I went down there. I don't know where I would be if I didn't go, because that was a real opportunity for me to connect with the new coaches and with the new team. And I'm like, when I hung out with Mike, I was like, Mike, like, dude, like, because before I barely even knew the guy, I didn't talk to him. And I was able to talk to him there. And then over the years, it's just little by little getting closer and getting to know, him and the team more. And of course, there's been more changes. That's what happens, especially like when you're going a coaching program, you can't help but hire entrepreneurs.
Yep.
Right? Like everybody. So it's hard for it to stay this consistent container of people, because everybody at some point you're like, okay, I want it, right? Which is amazing. Yeah. However, I still get mad when they leave me because you build this connection and this bond.
Yeah.
But I actually just signed up for another 2 years.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
And I waited to do that. I knew my contract was coming up. I've been very strategic with what I wanted to do. There's a few reasons, and this comes with the choosing, right? A few reasons. One is I feel very seen by my coach. Anytime that I bring up the way that I want to grow my company or what I envision that to be, I feel very seen and heard. That it's not just this one style. It's like, hey, this is what you're looking to do. How can I support you? Right? So that even happened down in Miami because I was like, we were sitting at this VIP day and I brought up, I was like, everyone was talking about these like 60K months, 100K months and all these different things. And I was like, and when it got to me, I was like, I just see, and it's changed a little bit since then. The lifestyle part hasn't, but I brought up, I was like, I want to be a lifestyle entrepreneur.
Yeah.
No matter what I grow, it has to fit into that mold.
Exactly. Instead of you fitting into it.
Correct. Right. And it was just funny because a lot of people, they were like, wait a minute, what's a lifestyle entrepreneur? And I was like, huh. And then he broke it down for them. And a lot of them got the vision too, which was great. And then I went to more live events. And for me as well, although the business model that he's familiar with isn't 100% of like my style that I want to go with, I still love the community. Mm-hmm. I love the coaches. I love what he brings to the table. And I also, and the biggest thing for me is consistency. I do not want to have to leave, to start somewhere else, to lose momentum, to gain momentum. And to me, I feel like I've just been going through all of it. And I'm like, listen, as long as you're helping me, as long as I'm growing, as long as the love is here and we're like, the community is like.
And my cash flow is
yeah, and right? I'm like, I will stay. Like from last year to this year, I tripled my revenue. Yeah. And I'm like, let's do that shit again. Let's just do it again.
But also this particular program we're talking about, y'all, Michael Chu.
Yes. Love him.
Yes.
Love
amazing coach. Amazing entrepreneur, has multiple businesses. Is not just a coach. It's not just a coach of coaches, has really ran multiple businesses. But this particular program, you found what we all should be looking for, which is your ideal client.
Yeah.
Right? So when you have a program where they're feeding clients to you, not like you have a deal, but you got to do the work. You got to get the client. But you know what I'm saying? Why would you leave? Like, that's like leaving money on the table.
Right.
Essentially. And then you also have a good relationship with the coach. And I think what happens is, this is a brilliant point, Heather, and that's why I want to stop here. A lot of people go to coaching programs thinking what they can get out of it. And they look at the coach. But what you've been really good at is looking at the community. What does this community need help with? And how do I stand out so that we can make money together? And that's the powerhouse of your business. Like, referrals, collaborations, affiliates, and being able to do that. So did you do that? Was that intuitive as well? Or was that planned? And what advice can you give to other folks who are trying to collaborate? Because I often talk to my clients, we can go there quicker together than we'll ever go apart. And you and I break bread together. I mean, we've made good money together, right? And it's been because we've put the collaboration first and the competition has never been in the room.
It was not intentional. The whole change, like, because originally we went from like this really business heavy container to now a very like fitness heavy, like fit coach container, right? And all of a sudden I looked around, I was like, no one here is doing what I'm doing. I'm like, that's different. But it started just from me helping out, answering questions. And then it also became like, when I finally got my stuff shit together, and I was like, this is what it looks like. And I started with the one thing, and I did my fill the room system. They invited me in to teach it. They were like, please, like, teach this. And they brought me in to do that. And then from there, it's just connecting, having conversations. Like, they're my favorite. And then it's crazy because every time I go to an in-person event, and after Kajabi Hero Live, I'm going to be at Champ Dev Live, like right after with my people. But every time I see them, it's just, I feel, if y'all are watching this and it's just me, like, then we got to talk. But I love y'all. I'm not kidding. But I feel closer and closer. Like, every time that I get to see the same people, that same community, and it's like we've seen each other change. I've seen a few of them have kids, like, you know, like, and just their businesses have grown and changed and molded. And just at some point, I don't know what the fuck happened. It was just like, next thing you know, I was getting clients, and then you're on the stage shouting me out. Their coaches are on the stage shouting me out. And I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm like, and then I would just start helping people, and then they would tell their friends, and then they would tell their friends. And next thing you know, I was like, that's what I was doing. But it made it simpler because I'm like, This is what's funny because I call myself like the sales and marketing coach's like side chick. I'm like, so if you got a sales and marketing coach, I'm like the side piece to that because it's great being in the container as well because I'm seeing exactly what they're teaching. And I'm also seeing that disconnect between what they want them to be doing and what they're great at doing organically, but there's no connection to that automation and system side. So I was like, but why? Like, just do this. And I was able to rinse and repeat, which made it so much simpler.
Exactly. This is a relationship business. And I tell my clients this all the time, and they cannot understand it, especially when we're getting into messaging and conversations. And I'm like, the reason it's not working is because you're looking at this as a transaction. Mm-hmm. And this is literally a relationship. Like, you have to be able to build good relationships. So I want to shout you out again because recently I got a new client and they gave me praise about my onboarding process. They were like, this is the best onboarding that I've ever got and they've spent 25 years in corporate. 25 years in corporate. Let's cheers to that.
Yes. And I'm like, I got short arms.
Oh, we did it. And they finally got a good onboarding, right? So they were so impressed about that. And not only that, Heather, I feel like it's really helped them get into the program. So I'm really looking at how these automation processes, at first, when I first started working with Heather, I was a little bit like, just fix the thing. Like, I was like, the things aren't working. But now I'm beginning to see how this is going to make for better relationships in the future. Just by having these simple things, the follow-up, did you fill this out? Did you do this? And we actually have, I got this from you, a whole commitment statement that people have to do when they get to the program. Not only do they have to commit, but the coach has to commit to them. And it's not like a legally binding contract. It's more of a moral contract. And they were like, no one's ever made me do that before. And I got that from you. So shouts out to you, Heather. Just continue the good work. So let's talk a little bit about headaches because that happens in business.
Yes.
Right? So for you, your headaches probably look a little bit different than mine. Like, I get a client that's just mad they haven't got a speaking gig yet, right? Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'll work with you until you get a speaking gig. I'm that type of coach. Like, I'm going to do that. But for you, where do some of the headaches come or have came, and how have you dealt with some of those?
You can always try to preemptively strike it. However, no matter how good I think I am at that, something always happens. There's two different layers, right, of the headache. You have the comes in and wants something, but wants it so fast that it's like an unrealistic expectation of like how quick this thing can happen. And it's just like thing after thing after thing after thing. Or it's like, oh, I have this thing, it's like in 7 days and I want to have this ready for that. I'm like, that's not what we talked about. Like, you need time to, so that's one. The other one is and I know as coaches and as people, we all feel shame. And what I found is, especially, I don't know if we find people that, reflect, of course, like our person. Like, I always tell my coaches, I'm like, when I'm feeling shame, I hide. Like, I feel like I won't show up to the things, right? And I'm like, just message me, call me, badger the heck out of me because there's something that I'm feeling shameful for either not doing right, I'm feeling off, maybe I had a bad month or whatever that is. And what I found is some of my clients do the same thing. And when you're trying to build something, you have to communicate. You have to be able to ask questions and work through things. And what happens is there's some momentum that you gain when you're creating the thing, but not even that until you have your processes in place. It's new. There's no muscle memory. So if you're talking about something and this is this way that you want to do it and you start putting the pieces and then you disappear for 30 days, all of a sudden you're like, what the heck was I working on? And you really have to go back again. And it's almost like starting over on that system because now you're starting at the basics. You're like, oh, what did I do? Right. And then you're even like taking a look at it like 30 days ago, what was I wanting it to be? Right. So those are my two different layers of them. These ones, the ones that like want it quickly are easier because it's kind of like just sitting them down for a second. And once it's just explaining, the way that we do everything, I'm like, listen, first we have to evaluate it, right? And then we have to automate it. And then we have to nurture people. And then we're going to scale it. I'm like, each of those things is like a week.
Yeah.
And you have to test the sucker out.
Yeah. So giving them a proper roadmap, right, for that expectation.
And then the ones that disappear, though, I'm like, I just want to go in and like give you a hug because I know it's hard.
Yeah.
I know you're probably experiencing a lot in your business right now. And I know that adding on something else, even though in the long run will save you time, is still taking up more of your time right now. And for some of us, it's easier to go back to doing it the way we were doing it than taking that little extra effort, like for that time. Like, and then sometimes shit just happens, right?
Yeah.
So those are but I'm like, I love all my clients. I just want to give them all a virtual hug. If I could like be in their computer and do stuff for them, like I would be like, yes. Like, let me just sit in your computer like a little ghost in the machine sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
And move some things around for you.
Which is, I'm so happy when I found out that Zoom did that. I was like, oh my God.
I know that you could take over the screen.
Yes. That was a game changer for my coaching calls because I was like, now they're just doing calls. Like, you come to the call and I'm going to take over your screen and we're going to do some stuff.
Right. And I can get it done for you. Definitely. So we're here for the Kajabi Live conference, right? And I want to talk to you about, number one, what is Kajabi and why you love it so much. And then I have some more nitty gritty, nerdy questions to ask you.
I'm going to geek out here. I love it. So Kajabi is just really an all-in-one SaaS platform. It's a software as a service, basically meaning that you can house like your courses in there, your emails. You can literally run your business just with Kajabi. And it's the user experience for me. Once again, it's the customer service, like the user experience, all of that. I've tried other platforms. I'm not, up or down on any of them. I think we all have a style. So I think your style of working and looking at things is going to either make you love it or hate it, right? And I'm even playing around, like now I have like 2 different softwares I'm playing with right now. It's great. But Kajabi is like my go-to. I'm like, I love it. It's just, and then their support. When I would needed help and I would be able to get on there with their chat support and would actually be able to get stuff done like on the call, I was like, I'm never leaving you. like you have me forever. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I love about Kajabi in particular, number one, you put me onto it. I mean, I was using it already, but not in the ways that I could have. But I love the fact that they have the hero hours. Mm-hmm. So even my clients, they'll have questions for me and I'll be like, well, Heather doesn't work on weekends, right? Like, so you're going to have to go, but there's a place for them to go with that. Yeah. So what I started to do, and I think I might've got this idea from you, or maybe you and I had a call, any question that would come up for Kajabi, I would just write it in a note. And then when I had that monthly call, I can get all my questions answered. And literally, y'all, it's a one-on-one call. You're sitting with the person. They're talking to you about sales and marketing. They want to see you be successful. And recently, I seen them put out some data. Their average client makes about $30,000 a year from Kajabi. Like, that is amazing. Mm-hmm. That's an amazing amount of money. And I mean, you and I are making more than that. I'm not saying that you can't make more, but I'm just saying that's the average base, which means that, the $300, $200 that people are complaining about paying. Yeah. It's like you could be making so much more by just utilizing the system. So for the nerdy side of it, right, 2 things that I get complaints from with clients. Mm-hmm. How do I build my email list to Kajabi? Like, how do I get, like, if I have like a Acuity or, something else that I'm using, do I use a Zap? Do I use these things, right? Like, so can you talk to me a little bit about how Kajabi interfaces with other apps? Because I think people, as much as we love Kajabi, some people love those other apps just as much. And they're like, once you fall in love with it, it's like, I don't want to leave my baby. Please don't make me do it. So how does it interface with other applications?
So it has some direct connection. So when I'm talking direct, I mean like you go to the settings and you can literally just connect, Kajabi to, I think ClickFunnels is a direct connect. I haven't really been doing too much. Like I usually, if I'm in Kajabi, I'm using fucking Kajabi. But
real talk.
But
I'm gonna drink that too. Keep it simple.
But there are some things. So there's different ways. So yes, Zaps. Love me some Zaps. And I've been getting a little bit more into that. So as my business has been growing, what I've been wanting to do as far as like with Zaps, so like Airtable and different things along that line. But if you have like Acuity, if you have like, if like you do an external email, like Active Campaign or whatever that is, if you just want to, if you have an external email, just export your emails if you're ready to get rid of it and go into Kajabi. So literally just go to your email service provider, export it, download as a CSV. You can literally go into Kajabi and upload your contacts. Now, here's a tip that my clients just because you're uploading a CSV doesn't mean that Kajabi's going to know what the hell that information is. So where a lot of people get stuck and then they're like, no, not doing it, is you have to connect the dots. You're like, where's the first name on your CSV file? You have to click that this is the first name. You have to match the fields, and literally you can get rid of other ones. So you have to make sure things are matching. If it's not a direct connect, either Zapier or you can use their API key and do that. I've been playing around with so much with that too, even with like OpenAI and trying to see like what we can do. And then Kajabi has their AI, and yeah, just it's seeing how things communicate with each other. And then ultimately, if they don't, that's where if you just can't give it up and you're like, this is my thing. One of two things. Is there an in-between? Yeah. Right? So like, let's say if Kajabi doesn't connect to that platform directly and there's no Zap for it, let's just say, because sometimes even Zaps, they are limited on what they do based on the platform that you're connecting. Is there a middle point, right? So sometimes like Google Sheets is a great middle point. Most platforms go to Google Sheets and most platforms pull from Google Sheets. So sometimes you have to think of, okay, can I finagle a way to make these two places work the way that I want them to? Or just literally, if you have to, hire a VA. That's like last resort. You can't connect the dots. You can't make it do what you want to do. Hire a VA.
Or hire Heather.
Yeah.
Hire Heather and her team.
Let Heather figure out how to connect the dots for you.
Because sometimes I think what you help with, Heather, is the dots sometimes don't need to be connected. Mm-hmm. And I don't say that I don't say that with shade, right? I say that with extreme responsibility, because as business owners, we only have a limited amount of time. And that's our most valuable resource. So sometimes I know I've come to you and I'm like, can I do it? You're like, why are you even doing all that? Just do this, right? Like, So that's what you're hiring a Heather for. A VA is going to go in and zap things for you. But the higher level thinking of, do I even need this Zap? Do I even need this software? Is where someone like you can really come in.
100%. Yeah. And then, because I've even had people say, they're like, oh, like I know somebody right now that's always looking for a VA because they can't seem to keep one to do what they want. And, they want a VA that's going to bring stuff to the table. And I'm like, a VA is a doer. You tell them what to do, they're going to do that thing to the best of their ability. They're not going to bring the thing to you as an idea to make the business grow or to make it run better. They're basically sitting there waiting for you to tell them exactly what to do. And if they don't know how to do it, then they'll be like, I don't know, or they'll hopefully try to find out. But yes. And it's funny because where you do I have some people and I have a certain group of friends and I'm always like, listen, you're one of them. Where I'm like, let me find out you're waiting on Kajabi's if somebody's waiting for support and they're not just hitting me up, sometimes I get very offended.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why didn't you ping me? I would have sent you a Loom real quick. We could have been done with this.
Yep. You'll tell me that all the time. You'll tell me all the time. So Kajabi has some really cool new features coming out though, right? Amazing. So I want to share my favorite new feature that's coming, and then I want to hear yours. So I was really excited to see the new payment funnels that we're going to get. So for folks who don't know, right now with Kajabi, I believe you can use PayPal and Stripe, right?
Yes.
That's primarily what you can use. In beta, they're bringing in Apple Pay and Google Pay. I don't know if they're going to bring in Cash App. I don't know what else is coming with it. But the reason this makes me particularly excited is sometimes pricing objections do happen based off of the ways that people can pay. And I've had quite a few clients come to me about Apple Pay as of recently, and I was very confused about this. I was like, why are so many people using Apple Pay? But then I was watching a financial blog, and Apple released like a business credit card recently that gives you all of these like perks and bonuses. So now I get why everyone's attracted to it. So I'm excited about the new pay funnels. And the reason I'm really, really excited about it is not only that people will be able to pay, I think some of my clients who've been hesitant to use Kajabi because they're like, oh, it's only Stripe and PayPal, that's going to be more attractive to them as well.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. For me, it was funny. I got excited when they also rolled out the pay as much as you want one.
Yeah.
I was like, let me just play with this a little bit and see like if people are going to pay me more for something. Yeah, that was a good time. And then I actually got people working on that. I was like, if you don't know, just send them that. Just do that. But that was a huge thing for Kajabi.
Yeah.
Stepping that up. And it's funny because like people bring it up. There's so much that's on their roadmap.
Yeah.
Like, I love Kajabi. Is it the most robust system? No. However, the way that they have it set up, it's exactly what you need.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they're constantly rolling out different things. It might take a little bit because they have so many, but everything when they roll it out, it's like,
it's ready to go.
It's ready to go and it's perfect. And I always get those stuff for the beta and stuff like that. Like I remember when they came out with the content one too. Like literally, like you can have it pull a video that you upload in your course and it can break it down into content for you.
I know.
I was like, what?
Game changer.
What?
Game changer.
I was like, all I have to do is the one thing. I can record it. My VA can go ahead and upload it. I can have them automatically break it down. And then it's content and it can go out there. I don't even have to do anything other than recording the actual thing. And then AI. Like when I started playing around with the AI, I've been geeking out hard on AI. Like I even went to a 2-day AI conference in Orlando.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I am not missing this sucker.
Okay, 2 apps that you're excited about in the AI space. 2 apps besides ChatGPT. Because I think we've all kind of ChatGPT has the ability to connect with things now too. But
once again, for me, I'm hella focused.
Yeah.
I don't like. I scroll through TikTok and my feed is AI, right? So it's like every time. 13 apps that you should know about other than ChatGPT. And I'm like, oh no, I can't. And this is why like I really am somebody that I'm like, I pick a thing and I stay on it.
Yeah.
So I just love ChatGPT. What is it? Journey?
Yeah.
Journey is really good. I didn't know how to talk to it until the AI conference. I didn't know it was built on Discord, which was very interesting for me. That's how little I played with it. Right. So I went there and they were showing it and I was like, oh, now I get it. 'Cause people talk about it until you start to like play. You're like, oh, I don't see it.
Tell our audience what Journey is. Cause I'm sure some folks are like, what's that?
Journey is basically, okay. So you could literally, you prompt ChatGPT, and if you don't know what that means, and this whole thing is going to be confusing for you, and I'm sorry. But for those that know, you prompt ChatGPT and you talk to it and you tell it what you want. Well, with Journey, or is it Journey or Mid-Journey?
I think it's Mid-Journey.
Yeah. Yep. That's how little I know about it. Don't come at me. So with Mid-Journey, you go into the server and you're writing a prompt and you're basically explaining to it what you're looking for in an image. And then it produces an image for you. And it could be something that's animated, something that's realistic, whatever that is. And I was watching as they went deep into it, like you can learn how to, and you can even go to ChatGPT to prompt a Mid-Journey prompt, right? So you can make it a Mid-Journey prompt expert. And it'll end up pulling up, like if you tell it that it's like a famous photographer that knows this and that and da-da-da-da-da, they'll pull up like the numbers and all the different things that if I were to pick up a regular people camera, I would have no clue what it is. And it will spit it out and then you copy and you paste it. And then you can go in and play. You can take 2 photos and it can basically like merge it into one, and they're absolutely gorgeous photos. So for most people, like even if you need stuff for your website or whatever it is that you're working on, your branding, your logos, if people do like apparel, e-commerce, amazing, journals and stuff like that, fabulous. Get really good Mid-Journey game cards. Why not? So it's just really good imagery. So now we're moving from AI with words and writings to this AI like with this beautiful imagery that you can just like have and talk to it and make it what you want. Yeah. The other one that was pretty exciting for me, and my son, who is 15, was very upset about this. Because I recently was like, what do I need in my business? And I needed somebody to start taking video content and like cutting it down, making something shorter, adding some, the text on it, right? And doing all these things. So briefly, I hired my son. I think it lasted like a week. Elijah, if you're watching this, I love you. It lasted like a week because I found a platform, an AI platform. I think it's video, like vid.ai or something like that.
Video, right?
Video,
Yeah,
yes.
that's the one I used to.
And literally you just upload it and it gives you all these different cuts. And whether it's, for social media or like YouTube's like depending on like the way you want the layout, like vertical or horizontal and all that good stuff. And I told him, I'm like, I'm not just giving you money to give you money, dude. Like you need to find another way to be useful in the company.
Yep, exactly. Find another skill set.
I'm like, AI just stole your job, man. AI just stole your job. Like,
so now the thing is like, learn to do the AI better, right?
Yes.
Like that's what I'm telling people because people are like, they're just going to move out the middle class. No one's going to have a job. Really, it's going to be a powerhouse to know how to utilize the AI because
100%.
technically your son can take the skills that he's already got the job, put that on something like Fiverr or Upwork.
Yep.
And for the people who don't know it's an app, that can make his job a lot easier.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's so much he can do. Like this kid's been like on Discord since he was like 8 or 9.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's have you heard of the game Ark?
Mm-hmm.
So he's not, what is he? He helps out. So he's been working within the Ark server for like 2 years maybe, just like helping out with community management and stuff like that. And he was already applying to like move up there, but they're like, you have to be a little bit older, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm like, dude, like, you know how to set up a Discord, you know how to community, you know how all these different, I'm like, what these kids can do, it's absolutely amazing. But yes, I told him the same thing. I was like, figure out what you want to like do, first of all, like what's gonna be fun for you. Like he's really big into beats. I'm like, if you can find a way to turn that into like an automated thing, like do that. That's awesome.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was really big at the AI conference too, is they were like, it's just learning. As long as you can move fast with it, I don't think it's leverage.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's coming for anyone's per se, like job, right? Your job, it's what you do is just going to change. And the way that you do it's going to change. Like before, when people would come to me like, do you write copy? Nope. You know me. I'm like, I will build all the things for you. I will not write a piece of copy. Now, we do copy.
Yep.
Because I know how to talk to it. I know what to do. I know what I'm looking for. And for me, emails that go out, like I'm able to write now. And I'm able to just sit down and get creative. And I talk to it. And then there's this plugin now that I learned about that literally you can be on ChatGPT. You can click the microphone and now you talk to your prompts out. So literally like you're talking this huge long
I need
prompt.
That
plugin. Yes. Yes. And it's just, yeah. And did you know ChatGPT now has plugins?
Yeah, I seen that.
Did you see the Instacart one?
Yes. I seen that like 2 days ago and I was like, what is this? Game changer.
I'm like, just come up with a menu for me and then get me all the ingredients on Instacart and let me just click on this link and go.
It's going to be really good for the fit pros you're working with. Like
that's why I dropped in the community. I was like, have fun. Yep. Enjoy. I'm like, added value, no extra time.
Right. Whew. Put that on a t-shirt, Heather. You need a merch line. You need a merch line for that. Well, Folks, we do have a lunch date that we're going to go to. So we do have to wrap this up, but we could talk about this forever. Before we do, I want to know, one, not just how people can work with you, but who you want to work with. Because I think sometimes when it comes to this part of the interview, we very much stick to, follow me here and there. Yeah. But you have a particular group of people you're looking to work with. So what's the pitch? What's the pitch?
So for me, you have to be ready to scale. Like you need to know your offer. You need to know how to sell. And most likely you're doing most of it organically right now. And you're doing good. You're hitting about 10K months, 20K months, right? And you are bringing on clients. You have no problem with that. However, you're reaching that tipping point of like, if I were to bring on 5 more clients, how am I going to coach them? How am I going to bring them on? And you're actually starting to feel a little bit miserable and overwhelmed. And then you're worried that eventually your business is going to fall because now you're spending time on the back end. You're not marketing as much as you should be. So you're in that transition point right now and you're kind of like, I'm ready to do it. But if do I want to spend on it? And like, just spend the money on it. But you know what you're doing, because one thing that we do not want to do is build you something and then have you be like, it's not what I do anymore. And then we just spent all this time. So this is your business. This is your baby. You know what it is. And you're ready to build out your business for what it looks like 10 years from now.
That's who you want to work with.
That's definitely who I want to work with.
And how do they reach out to you? How do they get involved?
Best way is just website. So heatherhargrove.com. Put that in. You'll find me there. And just if anything, we don't work with everybody. Even if you're not ready for me, like a lot of the conversations is, and I love a good roadmap. I even talk to my coaches. I'm like, this is where I want to go. Like, how do I get to this point of working with you? Which is a weird conversation. I'm like, I hit them up. I'm like, how can I pay you more money? I'm like, where do I need to be to do that? But yeah, so even if we're not there, I will let you know. First of all, I'll give you tips, tricks, and all that good stuff for where you're currently at. And I probably have resources that I can give you. But if you're not there, I'm going to let you know. And then I'll talk to you about what it'll take to get there. And then you can determine if that's even where you want to go. Because for you, where I started out originally, I was like, I don't want X, Y, and Z thing, right? Like for you, you might literally be cool selling like whatever it is that you're selling and not really having to add in anything else. No shame. Actually, power to you. 10, 20, 30K months at that, do it. But if you are ready, then map that out for you and show you what that looks like and see how it feels.
Yeah. Base it off of that intuition.
Yeah.
That guidance, definitely. Well, folks, this is Wins, Wine, and a little bit of strategy. This has been an amazing conversation. I hope y'all have enjoyed, loved it. I will vouch, hire Heather. Heather has definitely changed my life and many of my clients' life, and just so thankful to have you a part of the Speaking for Profit community.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Loved it.
All right. Peace.
Bye.